Hi everyone and welcome back. Okay, so I've got another little drawing demo for you today. I've also got a painting demo for you as well. I've done two versions of this and I'll show you the watercolour version in just a little while. So the photo of this robin I took myself. I was out for a walk the other day and took my camera with me and I happened to see this robin in the tree. I got a nice photo of it and I thought, let's make a nice drawing. Now the background of the photo looks quite cluttered with all those twigs and branches, so I decided to leave most of them out and just put a couple in at the top. You'll see that a little bit later. And the materials I'm using for this one are my usual Daler Rowney Smooth Heavyweight. It's an A4 sheet and it's just had a couple of inches chopped off the end just to fit the size of the picture. Now even though this is a fairly easy scene to actually draw freehand, I decided to use the grid method for this one just to make sure I got all the proportions right and everything all in the right place. And as always, this will be a full tutorial over on my Patreon channel, all in real time with full narration and everything, and there'll be reference photos over there for you to download, a colour one, black and white one, and one with a grid on it, so you could work to the grid method if you wanted to, or you could just use a black and white photo to freehand draw or even trace if you wanted to. It's not really a difficult drawing to do from start to finish, and it doesn't take too long either. And there was a few interesting techniques I used in this one, which you'll see over on Patreon. You'll see them in more depth as well over there. Now I guess this is probably a funny choice actually for a black and white or grey toned drawing, to do a really nice bird like a robin with that really vibrant sort of red breast on it. It's almost a crime, isn't it, to do it without the colour. So like I said, I did decide to do a colour version of this after I'd done the drawing. But one of the things that actually attracted me to the drawing was what you can see now, the textures on the bark. I thought that would be really good to do in graphite. You know, there's a lot of detail there, a lot of nice textures to get stuck into. But the funny thing is, once I'd drawn all the detail and the textures in, and I started to work on the robin, I thought the detail and the texture on the bark just looked too much and it was kind of taking your eye away from the robin. So I decided to kind of subdue them a little bit, blend them out a little bit and tone them down a little bit towards the end. And, you know, just kind of bring more emphasis to the focal point, which is obviously the robin. Okay, so before we get to the end of the graphite drawing part, let's take a quick look at the colour version. And this is also a lesson over on Patreon, all in real time if you're interested. Now you can see with this one I've really decluttered the scene. I've only got 3 branches in there, left most of them out, and I'm going to let the colour do the talking in this one. So really it's a nice, simple, easy one to do, and again it doesn't take long at all. A little bit of drawing involved at the start there, because this is really a pencil and wash watercolour. You know, I'm applying the watercolour over the top of a graphite drawing there. It's done on watercolour paper. I think it was Langton Prestige £140 cold press paper I used for this one. So it's quite textured, but the graphite goes over it nice and easily, no problems with this one. And paintings like this are really good for beginners actually, because if you're not used to watercolour but you can draw a little bit, this sort of thing is ideal for you, because you're basically relying on your drawing, you know, for the tones and the detail and the shapes and everything, and you're just applying a few simple washes over the top, and before you know it, you've got a painting. It's actually a great technique. It's probably one of my favourite watercolour techniques actually, the pencil and wash. A lot of beginners have said to me that, you know, they've always struggled with watercolour, but when they started applying over the graphite drawings, they found it a lot easier. You know, once they've got the tones down, the details down, and a few light washes just to tint over the graphite. You know, it really can be as simple as that, or you can work the washes up and almost obliterate the graphite. But it's just very helpful to have that graphite drawing there, you know, to apply the washes over. Anyway, back to the graphite drawing. Starting to work on the bird now. You'll see that I'm using my magnifying glass there. I always find that really useful in situations like this. It stops you from getting eye strain. You can relax a little bit more when you're drawing, you know, you're not squinting and having to focus too hard. And of course you can see everything, you know, a lot easier, a lot clearer. It's ideal for, you know, small detailed areas and textured areas like this, like the feather textures on the bird here, really did help a lot. And it also helps if you can get a really nice detailed photo as well, one that's not blurry or anything. So I was really pleased with this photo. For those that are interested in photography and things like that, I actually took this photo with a 600mm zoom lens, zoomed right into this, handheld, no tripod or anything, and I got a lovely clear image of this, got all the detail in there and everything. Of course that always helps, doesn't it? You've not got to try and second guess what the details are and everything, you can see them all there in the reference. And then with the magnifying glass, everything just seems so much easier. Highly recommend getting a magnifying glass if you've not got one. Highly recommend getting a camera with a 600mm lens as well if you've not got one, or if you can afford one. You can get some really close-up shots of birds and things like that. Really good. And of course, now the warmer weather's here, I'm going to be getting out quite a bit more actually with my camera, taking photos of birds, landscape, wildlife, that kind of thing. All to get a lot more reference photos built up in my library, reference material for drawings and paintings. So I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot more of that kind of thing on YouTube and Patreon, of course, in the future. Now, something I just want to quickly mention before the video ends. This is funny actually. I keep getting asked to do or to make ASMR videos. Are you kidding? What, with my voice? ASMR videos? No, I'm not gonna be doing that. I mean, if you're getting relaxed watching these videos, just keep watching these videos. That's all I can say. I get a lot of strange comments actually about my voice. Somebody said I sounded like David Bowie. Somebody said I sounded like one of the actors from The Lord of the Rings. And I've had a couple of people actually say I'm the English Bob Ross, which I'm clearly not. I mean, it had me in fits of laughter, that did. But no, for those of you that asked about, will I make some ASMR videos, sorry and all that, but it's not really my thing. But I mean, thanks for asking. I mean, I'm really pleased, if the videos are relaxing you, that's great, that's really great. But sorry, no, I'm not going to make any ASMR videos. Anyway, the drawing's finished. I hope you like that. Let me know in the comments which one you like the most, the watercolour or the graphite one. And I always read your comments and appreciate the thumbs up. And it'd be great if you could share the video around and everything. It really does help the channel. Okay, so take care everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.